going on, everybody? Welcome to another NBA draft night. What we've been doing the past couple of years, we've always been in Oohs and Ahs, at Oohs and Ahs, rather, Georgia Avenue location, enjoying the good food and the atmosphere there. This year is a little bit different. As you can see, I'm at home. Cardell's at Capital One for the Wizards draft night. Other than that, things aren't changing too much. The draft's about to begin. We'll talk about the picks and their fits as they get selected. Cardell has some actual work to do during the draft, so sometimes you see him go and come away just like you've seen in past years when he pops off camera for a little bit and comes back. Going to be pressers. He'll come back in, share some notes or what have you. But we're looking forward to a fun draft night. And again, I've been doing my best to stay off Twitter because Woj is trying to break his personal records and spoiling the picks. And then obviously, we all expect. I've been saying it for the past week. Cardell Rave. We're all very aware that it might be absolute chaos tonight as far as trades and whatnot go. Like even more than typical. So, it might be a busy night for us on that front where, left and right, we're like, oh, it's going to be one of those nights. That said, as always, you guys know what it is. Hit the comment section throughout the broadcast and, join the conversation. I got the feed up, so things are proceeding as normal. Cardi, I asked you just off the top. I think we all know who the first three picks probably are. Just a matter of where they fall. Who do you feel is the best fit for each of the three top picks?
It's tough to say because we don't know what Orlando is eyeing. They kind of in a they're in a weird situation as far as rebuilding, but at the same time, still trying to compete with the youngest that they have, who they're going to keep, who they're going to continue to develop. This is a new coach after 1 year. It's all about the direction he wanted to take it. It's tough on that year because they have a lot of young players. And keep in mind, like a player like Jonathan Isaacs, he was out last year. Where does he fit in? You know what I mean? So it's a couple players like who you talking about, like Chet Holmgren or whatever. That are similar, and where he is, he's bigger, he's taller, but Isaacs hasn't been able to stay healthy. So he has the size and skill and athleticism to cause a lot of damage, man. So it's tough to kind of see where they're gonna go. Oklahoma City Thunder, Lord Jesus, look, man.
Are they going up, down, left, right?
Look, bro, it is, man. It seems like they got a team full of lottery picks, man, with more lottery picks to give in years to come. So it's no telling, man. I think for Houston, it's different. They already kind of know what their core is and moving forward, their young core, starting their backcourt. Kevin Porter, obviously Green. So I like the young fella from Turkey, the big. I think he's promising. I like Kenyon Martin's son, Junior. I like what he brings. Right, what they need is, they got the third pick. They can go either way, man. They need some veterans in there to help elevate what the youngins they already have. So if they're gonna just go all out with the youth movement, they might hire one of those versatile wings that can come in and play the 3 or 4 and run with their backcourt. And the big kid up front with 30, especially since they trade Christian Wood, so that kind of tells you. That they eyeing more so somebody in the front court that help balance things, but it's tough. It's tough to see where they can go, or they could just use that pick for draft, for a trade. You just don't know. I think this draft is very good, but it's not generational on top. These guys that may develop to be that. When you look 20 years down the road, like never shown they have the potential to be that, but it's not somebody you can look at and be like, oh yeah, he come there, he ready to go.
Right.
It's just and you can put your franchise on it. It's just not like that. So it's interesting. We'll see though.
Yeah, and I like that point that you brought up because of that. We're already talking for other reasons because of the teams and how they've managed their cap in the past, and some teams might have to make trades just to open up their cap to spend money in free agency in another week. It's gonna be crazy. It's legit going to be nuts. Then obviously we have no idea how that. We're talking about the first three picks, right?
Yeah,
Think about what the rest of the top 10 looks like. It's going to be madness.
yeah, and how all this gonna play out, with the rumors going on in Brooklyn and
Yep.
some of these other teams and whatnot. Look, man, this has the potential to be a very
Yep.
eventful. That's the word I'm using, eventful draft. So it's just hard to say. Like I said, there's a lot of pieces that can be very good off the break, but I think it's a lot more talent that needs time to develop.
Right.
And we saw with Golden State, they developed some of their young pieces and paid off. They became key contributors quickly for them going into the championship. Whereas some other franchises, man, if them kids don't figure it out, it could be tough. They can be up and down in the G League, or they can be giving up on. You're not heard from again in a few years, so you got to keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, and that's the other part about it. Like you said, talking about some of these kids, it's going to magnify the fit and where they land.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's as we've learned this year, and most of us have known this, been screaming this for a while, but a nice reminder: where they land matters. Organization matters. It really does. And again, what you have going around with some of these veteran players, there's in terms of free agency, there's not a bunch of big names. But if you go into the other free agency, aka guys on expiring deals, the sign and trade market, booming right now. So again, what would you like? This is the thing for some teams. What would you rather have? Your assets and in some organizations, some can be real with themselves. Go get somebody ready-made and proven, and try to skip the steps you continue to fail at, or continue, spinning your wheels in circles. There's some players out here you might have opportunity to go get. Might cost you some assets. I mean, some people haven't done well with the assets thus far over the last 15, 20 years anyways. Some people might jump out there and really throw stuff around. We saw a couple pre-draft trades, with Portland, with Jeremy Grant. But again, the noise today coming out of Brooklyn, man, potentially what happened. I don't know how many people might be available coming out of there.
Exactly.
And a couple of, and you say all the time, some people when they move, the league doesn't really feel it. Some people when they move, everybody knows.
Yeah.
There's a name that's being mentioned, and you go ahead.
And he's one of them. With the rumor guy from Brooklyn, he's definitely one of them. But it's for more reasons than one. Obviously, he's a great talent. So if he go to the right team, if he moves, let's say he does get moved, he go to the right team. It'll shake up the league, but at the same time, it can shake up the league and then reverse option, the opposite version, because is he gonna be on BS? Is he gonna play? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, can he be counted on? And that can jack up your team, because if you're going to get him, they're gonna get your team. Your team gonna have to be.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be very, very top heavy. So
you're gonna feel it. That cost's gonna hit.
Exactly. So it remains to be seen. But I think after the, like you said, first 3 picks, things will flow now. You can kind of get an idea where they're going as the draft goes on.
Right. And looks like we're about to, the magic on the clock at the moment. I'm definitely excited to see how the rest, after the first 3, to see how the rest of the top 10 shakes out. I expect madness as soon as pick 3 is turned in. From 4 on, I expect just pure chaos.
All right. And the first pick.
Yep. All right, Paolo's off the board to Orlando. You talk about their front court. What do you feel he immediately adds?
A reliable wing. Like I said, a 3-4 guy that can come in, score, defend multiple positions, and rebound. He was kind of him, and then Jabari was the kind of the 2 I was looking at for that pick. But you just never know. So for him there, they possibly gonna move a couple of them youngins. We're gonna just have to see who.
Right.
And because look, with the new coach getting year 1, this is his guy. So he's getting behind him. He's the guy. He's gonna put his focus in developing him. Everybody gonna have to get in line. It's just how it works, man. So you got coming in and put in work, man. But he's talented, man. I don't know if you remember, we had on like when he was a high school junior. talked about him on the show, man. He was out in Washington out that way, and Kelly on the West Coast just killing, man. I was like, man, he got, they said today he got no more pick potential. And then he was the most consistent player on the Duke team last year, man. By far their best player. So I'm not mad at the pick at all, man. He's proven at every level. He's dominant, and he's exactly what's dominating the league. I mean, hell,
Yep.
I know they lost, but Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those guys, he's a little bit bigger than Brown. You saw what Wiggins did, man. You need one of those wings to have a shot, man. It just is what it is. So he fits that mold, and I'm not mad at the pick at all on that though.
Yeah, and like you said, I obviously like what he brings to the table. I'm interested in seeing, like you said, it's the new coach's first draft, what their vision is, because they got a lot of pieces, not redundant pieces, but you got a lot of pieces where you inherited a ton of pieces. The only thing we know for sure that you wanted for sure is this right here. This was your choice the entire way, and we got to see how the rest of the roster shapes out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a shock that, like you said, between Jabari and him in terms of what the league's about right now, if you got one of those guys on the wing, also played it 4 times, you got one of those guys, it puts you in a conversation in terms of building a team. Not shocked, and I just want to see how Orlando continues to build this out, because we know they got a logjam at guard. They have a logjam at guard. What do they got? It's Suggs,
Cole,
Anthony, and Kel.
Yep.
So, decisions going to have to be made. And then, like you brought up, Kel got back sooner than Jonathan Isaac did, but still got to figure out what they're going to do with that. Do you keep him? We've seen Bamba take Bamba took some steps last year in the right direction for them.
Right.
Which is huge, but which I'm sure is in their mind when they made their selection tonight, possibly. But I want to see how the rest of this shakes out. They took Franz last year, right? In the first, it was Wagner. Yeah,
Wagner.
Yeah, it was Wagner, Franz Wagner last year. So again, think about the type of size and length they're putting on the. They have really at the 3, 4, 5 potentially, or just on the floor. Period. Honestly.
And this kid, he's a lot more athletic than Franz. Even though Wagner, he can get up on his own, but this kid,
yep,
he's bouncy with it. So yeah, Terrence Ross is another veteran guard on that team. He might get moved because I'm pretty sure it's getting to the point where you need to send him somewhere where he can try to win. He probably want to go somewhere where he can try to win because, like I said, there's a youth movement there. Gary Harris is there.
A ton of guards. Yeah.
Bobo is there. Bobo is there.
I forgot he's there. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Wendell Carter, another front court player.
Yeah.
They have a ton of youngins. That's what I mean. So somebody will have to get.
There's not minutes for everybody. Yeah. Somebody's.
A few players can move. So
but not mad at Orlando at all, and they've had a solid track record with the number 1 overall picks working out there. They haven't always stayed there the entire time, but
that's what I was about to say.
They've worked out.
They got people there.
They've been impactful once they were drafted, but they got to learn how to get them to that second deal.
Exactly. But that's on them to develop these guys and make them want to stay.
Yep.
Give them success, man. So that's the hard part.
Up next, we got OKC. And sometimes in the draft, in matter of the sport, in some drafts having a second pick, when it's kind of it's not that it's controversial, but it's kind of a toss up at times. Between 3 players, you always got this. You got the first shot at the other 2. And we were just talking about OKC. I have no idea what they're gonna do, man. Because again, all I know is they stockpile lottery picks, and that's it. I don't know what they do outside of that.
And they just selected Shet, which is crazy because remember the Pokusevski kid, the 7-foot kid from last year?
Yeah, they got Poku there. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll probably try to play them dudes together.
Yeah. And they would be the tallest, lightest front court in the history of the game.
Because both of them is sub 200. Yeah, like Poku's like 190 and change, and I barely believe it's 190. Chet's about the same thing. So
you got Giddey, you got Giddey, you got Shy.
Yeah.
You got Lou Dort, Shaq, shoots a three. I like the minutes Jeremiah Robinson Earl gave him last year. He's very solid. Trey Mann was there. He gave him good minutes.
What do you think this means for somebody like Darius Bazley? Because it's in the front court. Add into their front court.
But he's going to have to be a 4-3. So I don't think it really bothered Darius that much. And Darius is one of the best players outside the shot. So
yeah,
you just got to figure out how to make it work.
But again, like we're just talking about Orlando, it's another team that is going to have a really young, athletic, and long front court.
The thing about Darius that kept him off the floor was, he wasn't inefficient from three, so it kind of shrunk the floor. But defensively, he has potential. Look, man, he showed flashes. He just got to be more consistent, be able to hit the outside shot. That's the thing. So if he come back and he's not able to do that, then this kid might rough him. It just is what it is. Especially the number 2 pick. We all know how that works. They gonna put him out there. So we're gonna have to see, man, because they gotta make that work, and it's a bunch of youngins just trying to prove, and ego gets involved. So it's gonna be a tough road.
Man, all right. So go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, I'm just saying I'm not mad. Shaq. We already knew Shaq coming out of the house was gonna be high regardless. So it doesn't matter how high. So it is what it is.
Look, that could be said for both for both players that went 1 and 2. Not a shock at all. Just where they went. All right. So third, we got Houston coming up. I think it's a foregone conclusion unless something happens we don't expect. Jabari coming off coming up next. We saw what they did in terms of like literally making room in their front court by trading Christian Wood. How do you like his fit? Like they made it clear early, like, hey, look, there's a spot with minutes. And like you said, it opens room for Sengun play the 5 a little bit more because Houston was doing what they were doing at times. They had Wood at the 5 at times. He was on the court with Sengun, who you love. How do you like Jabari's fit, possibly next to Sengun and the rest of the youngsters in Houston?
Oh, he feels perfect. 6'9", 6'10". 3-level scorer, got to improve defensively, but I think he's a willing defender. You know what I mean? That's the key. So he's going to have to get adjusted to the speed of the game at the NBA level, but his versatility to defend will be key. You know what I mean? Because he can. Rob Perone will go down there and probably bang with the bigs. So they can move him to the floor. They can still keep Porter. They can still keep Green on the floor. They can play KJ, who's a pogo stick. You know what I'm saying? Or John Tate. You see what I'm saying? So those type of guys. Rumors again about Eric Gordon. Where is he going to fit in this equation? But that's a bet. They can show him the ropes, especially on how to get your shot off, shoot the ball. Look. He fits right in because all they're gonna do is run the gun. That's what they're gonna have to do. Let's call it what it is. Ain't gonna be no slow down. Hey, nope. Get the ball. Get after it defensively. Get the ball, run it. They get back, stop the fast break. Look, out for room, go to the block, do what you do. Let's make something happen. So I think he fit perfectly with them. So actually him dropping, I don't even know if he was dropping. He was in the 3. It was, it makes sense. I guess in his eyes, him dropping, because he probably expected himself to be number 1. In his eyes, dropping might be a blessing in disguise. Right.
It was legit with the 3 of these dudes. Just which team saw each of them respectively as their best fit. Personally, that's all it really was. And obviously, if you felt differently, there's nothing you can really do if you picked after the other 2. is what it is.
Exactly. You feel different, go win rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
All three of these dudes ever shot. I mean, who you really? I mean, once you prove that you belong on the floor, everything's geared towards you anyway. Because you the top pick, you the hot new prospect, so you gonna win that.
Pretty much, it's really that simple. Excited to see how all of them hit the ground running. I'm also happy that we actually have summer league this year. Like going through the pandemic and stuff is one of the things that's been affected a little bit at times too. Where all the last 3 years of rooks all have had the same rookie experience in terms of coming into the league. So happy that these guys, although it's gonna come kind of quick, a la WNBA, but not as quick. But looking forward to what is 2 weeks summer league.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'll be that quick, so can't wait to see everybody hit the court for the first time, man. But again, three teams that were picking that high for a reason. Add high quality talent, like.
And it's official.
It's official.
Going to Houston. Yep, he's going to Houston.
And then the other thing we got in this first round, just looking forward a little bit, is we got several teams with two or three first round selections. I'm interested in to see how many of those teams are going to use all three, both or all three of their picks tonight versus putting them in trades to try to get some vets to infuse their young rosters.
But I think a lot of those picks are trades. Just setting them up for the bigger trades to try to improve quickly, get some vets. So go for a home run. You know what I mean? Like the league is getting more and more competitive as things go on because a lot of the youngins are growing up, so it's making it deeper and stronger. So it's not even enough just to have a couple players, top like all world players. You need depth now. You know what I'm saying? Like look at what we saw in the playoffs with the Brooklyn. They got 2 all world players and they didn't even get a win in the playoffs. They played too many minutes. They got worn down. You need that. You need guys that can come in and hold it down. I know Joe Harris wasn't there. Certain guys weren't there. I think Seth Curry was banged up, but it's tough.
And like you said, we saw depth play a role for both of the teams that made final runs. And then it played sort of a deciding factor in the finals itself. It's key. Some people don't think about the late first or especially second round picks. For some reason, people devalue the hell out of second round picks. And if and when you hit, they're key. They're huge for your team.
Yeah, the teams that's usually always in the lottery. The winning teams don't do that. So, those they got one that's been a thorn in their side since they passed on them, and that's Draymond.
Yeah,
he's a poster child of that. So,
but you got a back-to-back MVP that was the second round.
I'm trying to find one. Yep,
Man,
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm one of these other teams. I'm trying to find a Joe Gidget Draymond. Man. They help you win. They win championships. So anyone that just kind of dismissed the second round is foolish.
For sure. All right. Up next, we got the Kings, and I don't know if you saw the graphic going around Twitter earlier today. Think you know what I'm talking about? You said you didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it.
All right, so somebody put up, it was a graphic from some show earlier on, I think from what's it called, from ESPN or whatever, and they put the Kings picks and then who was picked to pick later.
Oh, man.
When I tell you it was brutal, sheesh, it was bad, man. It was
people love trauma.
If it was a court case, the defense rested after putting that graphic up. That was an opening statement. We're done here.
People love trauma.
Man, it was bad, man. So, talk that I know it's on screen. You're able to see it as well. Mike Brown in sack right now. They had the midseason trade last year, or the deadline trade rather, bring in DeMontis. Obviously Tyrese left. They still got De'Aaron and Off Night as guards. I think HB is still over there as well.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they end up doing. Because if they do take another guard, does that mean somebody else is on the way out?
They had 5 centers. So They had 5 dudes that played the center position. So yeah, oh man, yeah, it's tough for them, especially with Mike Brown coming in. So I don't know.
Because I mean, what's it good? He was just in the finals. I don't know how much input he's been able to have or whatnot into this in terms of how quick this is going on. Obviously, the Kings were preparing and whatnot, knowing that they had hired him, but still, like, how do you, what you were just talking about for Orlando in terms of who's over there, in terms of their newer coach getting a chance, their first pick's going to be their guy, essentially. So we get to find out what Mike Brown prioritizes in terms of who's on the board.
I went with Keegan Murray, the Kings.
You said they went with Keegan Murray?
Yep.
All right. So look to go ahead and plug that spot next to Sabonis. Yep.
So they invested on the perimeter. Like you said, De'Aaron, you got an off night. You still got Dante, Terrence Davis.
Yeah.
Stretch the floor, rebound. Good, I'm not mad at
it. Nah. And that's what I was anxious to see was if they ended up picking a guard, would it mean they're kind of trying to rebuild something or whatever versus just trying to see what De'Aaron and Sabonis are together going forward, adding to that group. So can't be mad at that at all. And the other thing is no one's going to be asking you to come in and lift the world in this scenario.
He's versatile. Like I said, he guard multiple positions. That's the key, man. You can't do that. Hey, man, it's going to be tough, but the main thing is he can stretch the floor. So when you got a speed demon like De'Aaron pushing the rock and off like can push the rock, both of those guys can push the rock. You need somebody that can spot up and also keep doubles off Sabonis.
Yep.
So the floor won't shrink. Even though he's still going to get his regardless, but it makes it easier, especially when the doubles eventually comes. Kick out, easy work. So, I like it, man. I definitely like it. He fits well. But new regime in town, isn't it? Man.
What's funny is how about that? Maybe one of the happiest people in Sacramento when Mike Brown got hired, Harrison Barnes. On stable ground in terms of Mike Brown coming in. But again, like I like the fit. We talked all postseason how important it is to have people that can defend. Kid can do that. Kid can hit the glass, like you said. This is one of the picks I was most interested in coming up. I want to see since Troy Weaver's been hired, I want to see, we saw them take Cade obviously last year. Want to see what they do because the luxury that you had in taking Cade last year was you can draft somebody to play next to him on either side, whether it's him technically at the 2 and you draft the 1, or him at the 1 and get you someone to put at the 3 maybe and slide Sadiq down. Who knows what you want to do? But they did make room in terms of Jeremy Grant not being there. Feel like that signs that maybe show something to the front court, or was that just a move and move that was just to be made? But I'm interested to see what they're doing because it's been fun watching Weaver work. And keep in mind they still got Bagley, right?
Yeah, and Sadiq Bey, and they got Isaiah Stewart inside, so you might be eyeing another guard or offer guard. Or Weaver, he ain't afraid. He might take the best available talent.
Right.
He's not conventional at all. So,
and like you said, not being conventional. I have no idea what this man might do here.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ivy. Just another guard to take the pressure off Cade so he can get buckets.
Mm-hmm.
At times, he can play off the ball. Even though you want the ball in his hands or whatnot, at times, be in that Luka role. And we also saw Beluga, and you ain't got another ball handler. Wears you down because I don't think they. I don't mean to put them out there. I'm not sure if they sold on.
Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they they got Saban Lee, Vanderbilt. I'm not sure they sold on Killian Hayes. Man.
I agree. I agree with that sentiment wholeheartedly. I definitely wouldn't be shocked if it's Ivy. Again, and they're another team with multiple picks this evening. But man, all right. So look, we're about to make it. So far, we've made it 4 picks with no trades. How about that?
For now, it's too early, bro.
Look, man, it's progress to this point. But yeah, I'm excited about what the Pistons are doing. And have been since he got hired. But I don't know. I have no idea what this man might do.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not in a bad way. It's not the bad feeling. It's just like, what's sitting out here that he feel could turn that could swing the pendulum, like accelerate them maybe 1 or 2 more steps because they've hit thus far. You talked about Sadiq, obviously with Cade, Isaiah Stewart, like all these folks have been contributors already. They got Bagley that midseason trade, and he was contributing. And I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna choose to add, man. Oh, they got a lot of options. I know that right here at this point. A ton of options. Just a reminder, folks, you guys get in here. Obviously, the picks. If your team hasn't picked yet, let us know what you think. Just hit the comment section. I will happily respond. But we are on the 5th pick, anxiously awaiting to see what the Detroit Pistons do. Cardell, I think you're a little bit ahead of me, so if you see it, let me know.
Jaden Ivey.
Jaden Ivey?
Yep.
How about that? Just stood pat, and there you go.
Yep. Look, just take a little pressure off Cade. He ain't always got to create, and he can do that. The other guy that can defend, which Cade isn't the greatest at, they can put him on the top, whoever the most lethal guard is or whatnot. Keep Cade fresh. I mean, I love it. Yeah, I definitely like this pick.
You want to talk about a tough young backcourt? Immediately. So what does that give you? That gives you Ivy, Cunningham, and Bay.
Yep, on the perimeter, and then
sheesh.
You got Stewart, possibly Bagley, because Bagley played strong. Late in the season, played strong. So yeah, they developing low. Yeah, they developing a tough young man, hungry man. So. And they weren't on last year.
So. All right, so that was the 5th pick. Coming up next, we got the Indiana Pacers, who we saw them with the trade they made last year. There's noise around them about, folks on their team being on the move or being available, what have you. They were in that trade with the Kings. They brought in Tyrese Halliburton, who hit the ground running in Indiana. It's not to say he wasn't hooping the sack, but he hit the ground running with a little bit more opportunity in Indiana. Where do you think they go?
Man.
Because they took Duarte. I mean to stump you, but they took Duarte last year, right? And then again, like coming into this, we know like names like Brogdon, Turner, what have you. Multiple reports just thrown out there in terms of them dudes being available in talks. And that wasn't like some of the noises coming up in the last 48 hours, like before the regular season even ended.
My thing is, what are you gonna do with Miles Turner?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, are you investing in him long term? You got Buddy Hield, Halliburton, obviously in your backcourt, but Duarte. So your backcourt is pretty much Malcolm Brogdon. They may keep him, they may not. Do you love Jalen Smith? You see what I'm saying? Like Man, I think they'll probably go with an athletic wing, a guy that can a 3-and-D guy.
Okay.
I think they'll probably go that way.
Yeah, because they were just one of the teams where I don't, like you said, we know the names that are rumored to be in talks, but I don't know who's staying and who's going, what's moving, and what have you. Knowing that Miles that changes the discussion by a large amount. Him not being there changes it again.
Because it seems as they're eyeing trying to get the center in the trade market or whatever, or free agent market. So I don't know. They're in an interesting position because they have pieces.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right. So you talk about possibly a 3-and-D for. Oh, they put the pick in already. The Pacers aren't playing. They like something. They got that pick in immediately. Are we getting closer and closer? Obviously, the Washington Wizards select 10 as of right now, this evening. And that's where Cardell is currently at Capital One Arena for Wizards draft night. Man.
I mean, do you go with a proven commodity? Do you go with a project?
But you want to know what we're saying in terms of trying to question where they're going? The pick might give us a good idea.
Or maybe they're picking for someone else.
This is also very true. This might be something that's attached to someone who's exiting later this evening. But yeah, like this little run of teams coming up next, I don't know what to expect. All right, again, we got the Pacers on the clock right now, 6. Their pick is in. They're followed by the Trailblazers, Pelicans, Spurs, and then obviously the Washington Wizards picking at 10.
Yeah, kid from Arizona, Benedict Mathurin.
Okay.
That's what I mean by athletic, 3-and-D type guy.
You called it. Somebody you definitely could play next to a pair of those guards, if not with. Yep. All right, so okay, Indiana.
37% from deep.
Oh yeah. I heard people in the league like that.
Yeah, indeed. And that's what they did not have last year because they got ate up on that wing spot
on a nightly basis.
Mm-hmm. He's a freak athlete, and most importantly, he's a dog. So yeah, this is a great pick for them.
What's that thing you always say about freak athletes on the defensive end and how they can impact games?
Yep. People watching the highlights. He caught a lot of bodies last year. And I like him because he plays mad. He plays angry. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I ain't here to be your friend.
Nah, they definitely need that.
Get you up out of here.
And being an athletic as somebody, with Tyrese and his vision, he will be utilized. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Anunoby. Oh, Lord.
You said what?
No, my bad. I forgot we live. My bad.
No, what would you say?
Y'all didn't hear that, but yeah.
All right. So the Pacers just took Benedict Mathurin. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Like Cardell said, 3D wing. All right. The Trailblazers made the trade recently to acquire one Jeremy Grant. Have no idea what they're doing, what they plan on doing, or what they're looking at. What's going on, Jovan? Appreciate you joining us. We said he's laughing at Perks comps already.
That's what I talked about. Yeah, he heard me.
Hey, look, Jovan, I got it. I have it turned down in my ears a little bit so I can hear Cardell. it looks like I did the right thing that I turned it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's who's giving out the comps tonight is Perk.
Yeah.
All right, then yeah, I did right. Like I have it on. It's really low.
Yeah, you need to just mute it. Just tune in. All right, cool pick. All right, cool. But no, I love the pick, man. I love what he young brings. And like I said, I like that he a dog, man. I watched him a few times last year throughout the season, and he brought it every game. He brought our game highly. He's definitely look. I know he ain't go there, but he would fit right in with the Memphis Grizzlies. How that mentality, how all them youngins roll. That's how he rolls.
Oh, the Pelicans need that bad. So yeah. Not the Pelicans. I'm sorry, the Pacers.
Pacers, yeah.
That's very bad. Sorry. And anybody can use it, obviously, but yeah, very bad.
So I wouldn't be shocked to see him day one, like whoever the top guy on the opposing team, be hopping on him and actually going at him like I can lock him up. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be fun.
All right, folks, go ahead.
As for Portland, my thing is with them. Are they picking for somebody else to try to get Dame some help? You feel what I'm saying? And then that's what I'm weighing. Because if they just trying to go as is, they need size. I mean, you got Nurkic, but after that, they small. Watford 6'9", but he a Wayne, Gray Brown, Wayne 6'9". Those are the two next biggest players on their roster. They need size in a hurry. You got Anthony Simons. Obviously, you got Dame coming back. Look, man, I'm just trying to.
And we've seen like the times when Nurk has been injured. Boy, it's disgusting to watch. Because, like you said, there is a.
My bad, Josh Hart out there.
Yeah.
He needs size. But like I said, I'm not sure if they picking for themselves or they picking for somebody else to try and get some veterans in there.
Right. All right, well, we shall see. We shall definitely see. There's still more than a few things left on this board. And I'm interested to see where they're going. Because if they do want to go size in terms of adding to their front court, what are some of the players you like at that spot?
I would take a look at Jalen Duren from Memphis, man child, 6'10", 6'11" kid, super athletic, a beast. Still has to, get better in certain situations defensively, depending on the pick and roll, hedging out, being able to get back to your man, closing out 3-point shoots. Because Embiid and those guys, they Giannis, all those guys, Jokic, they spot up from 3 in the heartbeat. So you got to be able to run out there and recover, but still move your feet, cut them off and get to the basket. Is it easy to do? No, but that's the job. You about to see.
Oh, okay, yeah. The pick is in.
Well, Shaedon Sharpe from Kentucky. So
that's where he went, Shaedon Sharpe? Okay.
Yeah. He didn't play last year, but super talented. But
okay, that's not bad.
So this might be them picking for somebody else because he got talent, but I don't know Dame's trying to wait for him. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know.
This is one of the things where if you put him in a trade to get somebody who can help right away, that team feels like they got top 10 quality in the selection, right? Where they can afford to wait. So yeah.
Right.
I was definitely a fan of this kid's going in. So with that amount of what you said, I wonder what's headed over. Because again, you don't go get Jeremy Grant if you're out here trying to wait. You know what I'm saying? If you're just waiting on things to happen naturally or what have you.
Yeah, he has NBA ability for sure, man. But I don't know for him to be ready. I don't know they got that time. So, like I said, I don't know if they picking for somebody else right now, especially for a guy that didn't play at all last year. So,
right.
That's tough to do.
We got a fun selection coming up next. and the Pelicans, because prior to that midseason trade or that late, that deadline trade or whatever, then they went on their run, getting the postseason or at least in the play-in tournament, what have you. Where do you think where do they look? Because they're still waiting for their, the guy they took number 1 overall a couple years back to be available to them on an every night basis. But, we saw what the addition of CJ McCollum was for them. The continued growth of Brandon Ingram, they showed last year during their run, they're on their way. So, if you get Zion back and heading in the right direction, how does that impact? If you could take a second, try to put your mind on how they're looking at this. Where on their team would you like them to address?
You know what?
And you drafted the kid from Alabama last year, Kyle Lewis.
Yeah.
So
you took Kyron. You had Herb Jones last year, right? You had Herb, Kyron,
Jose.
Yeah. Grant Theft.
You got Najee Marshall, local kid.
What's it called? The Virginia kids there too, right? Trey Murphy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
do you just go kind of like best player available and just add it to your depth and keep it moving?
Yeah, you probably just gonna need somebody that can come in and contribute right away.
Because they're one of the rare teams in the top 10 that's kind of like, for sure heading in the right direction. Not kind of, sort of, but for sure. Again, coming off some postseason success.
And then with Zion coming, well, hopefully he's coming back. You don't really need with Valanciunas, you don't really need a front court. So yeah, I would just take who I feel is the best available talent.
Yeah, because you still, even behind JV, you still got Jackson Hayes behind JV.
Yep.
So
they don't have many needs. It's just about continuing to grow and develop.
Mm-hmm. Which I think makes the pick scary, honestly, from that standpoint. When you're not drafting for need, you could take a swing technically because you're not one of the people picking this out where, hey, we need you to contribute immediately.
But are you confident in their organization to develop a young player?
This is true as well.
That's why, might need somebody that got a few years in college that already know how to work and come in and handle their business. Because I don't know if I trust this organization with the youngin.
Right.
Especially with the amount of talent, the young talent that they already have. That youngin get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, and honestly, like you said, some of the young talent, folks are excited about. That was imported. Talking about like BI, just being completely honest, like you said, to your point. You don't can't get too much credit for that one there. The needle was pointing up. However, he's still going. He's still doing what needs to be done. But I don't know where to go, man.
Like Devontae Graham, he went from a starter. Even if you're honest, you know what I'm saying. So he barely played. Herbert Jones shows signs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
yeah. Like you said, that's the thing. The elephant in the room for them is their number 1 pick. If you can get him back on the court, only helps. But yeah, you want to talk about options? Dyson Daniels. Oh my God.
Yeah. Night, so
I like it.
Who they felt was the best talent.
Yeah. And he definitely is going somewhere where there's not not pressure on him as a point guard to score in the least bit at all. Yeah, I like that pick a lot. Going with the type of size and length that they have on that roster already.
Mm-hmm.
Versatility never hurt anybody, especially on the defensive end. All right, we in close.
His strength is defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we saw him when they came here play the go-go. He just won't have to get minutes or whatnot. That's the only thing. He just wanted to fight to get minutes, but I think what's going to get him on the floor is the defense initially. Then he'll be able to earn some trust with Willie Green and showcase everything he can do offensively. And he has some good guys to learn from, the Ingrams and CJ McCollum, because I know they're gonna be on him from day one. That's how we work, be professional or whatnot. So he's in a great situation, man, where he can just learn at first, but be counted on later on if he handles business, behind the scenes, which I have no reason to think he wouldn't. You know what I mean? That's what the Ignite program is for, to groom you to be able to come in and contribute right away in the NBA. So, I have no complaints about the pick at all.
That's two of us that don't in the least bit. Man. And we've seen how we saw, last year during their run to close the regular season and in the postseason. Defensively, they already have some folks that got it done defensively. You add another one to it, like you said, it's the key to getting minutes. It always gives you a chance against really good teams. The more versatile, lanky defenders you have at your disposal, and they have several. They got a bunch of young guys that can bring that to the table along with the other things that they do.
Right.
Coming up next is the Spurs, which is interesting because I don't know what they're doing. We saw the DeJounte Murray noise yesterday just a little bit. Don't know if it's anything more than actual noise, but the Spurs picking in the top 10. So they've acquired.
You said DeJounte Murray noise. What you mean?
Just with him some noise came yesterday, several reports about him possibly being moved and all that stuff. Whether it actually happens, a different story, what have you. Again, just a bunch of noise over the last 48 hours. But again, what's important, the Spurs are picking here ninth. They've made some solid picks over the past couple seasons. You had some solid players. What do you feel like there's a key area they need to address right here?
Yeah, the front court. They don't really have much production up front. They need somebody to. Yaku, he big, but he don't really make that much of a difference. 13, he close to a double-double. But he don't spread the floor. That's another thing, right? So he's a solid defender, but they need somebody that they can throw the ball into and get them easy baskets. Right now, with the Spurs, they all perimeter based. I think the DeJounte Murray talk, I think that's all teams just inquiring, trying to, a lot of teams want a point guard. And he's a young point guard that became an all-star last year.
Right.
And a legit triple-double threat. So, he's special. And he's just entering his prime. He's only 25. So, I don't believe that. Because, you trade him. Come on now. Yeah. The cover is very bare. So, Level Keldon Johnson brought. Lonnie Walker has a ton of potential. They have youth on the perimeter, man. They just got to show up their front line. And
you think this?
I know that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They've been waiting for Zach Collins, but he can't stay healthy. He showed flashes of Portland. He could have been special, but if he can't stay healthy, I don't. That's tough. What were you about to say?
I was about to say, do you feel like this might be Atlanta's spot for Jalen Duren?
Possibly. Or
talk about for their front court, or go ahead, or was it somebody else you were going to suggest?
Everybody high on the kid from France.
Oh, okay.
Who's main D? He's another wing, and they have a bunch of wings, so that's why I'm not sure about him. Maybe they go with what's my man name? They might take a look at the kid from Duke.
Mark Williams.
Yeah, they might take a look at the. I don't know, man. They just in the weird spot. And then I'm just trying to think because I'm trying to put myself in Pop said where he's at also. 'Cause that's a big part of that. Like, what is he looking at? Is he looking at somebody overseas? The big kid from the big kid from Auburn, the center.
Kessler, right?
Kessler. As far as protecting the basket, he's already NBA ready, and he knows exactly what to do out of pick and roll situation. So he rolling, he can pop, and he can hit threes at times. I don't know. Will they go outside the box and get somebody, or are they
Well,
looking
the
to
pick is in, and then right after that, that building where you are should get active soon. They're on the clock.
I already know who I want the hometown team to take, but we'll see.
All right, well, we'll get right to that as soon as they announce who the Spurs are selected. All right. Jay Billis out here reliving the conversation we just had.
he was tuning in.
I think he heard us, so I don't know how, but or we might have been saying something that made sense. Not sure either or.
Yeah, tend to be in a lot of gyms, man, year round. So
I heard it helps.
Pick up a thing or two.
All right. I'm doing my best to stay off Twitter. My goodness. Yeah, I think what you said earlier is going to describe this night perfectly. Whole bunch of guys with high ceilings, depending on where they land, if they're able to get the kids to reach those ceilings.
They went with Jeremy Sohan.
Okay.
Baylor.
All right. So forward, right? Power forward? Or just a forward in general? Much.
You went in and out. What'd you say?
It's a forward, right?
Yeah, out of Baylor, yeah.
All right.
6'9".
Okay. Could be something to play next to your man Jakob. Oh, Polish national team. Okay. I'm gonna take a wild guess. Solid defender.
Versatile. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And can pass the ball. But those are traits that's Pop love. That's how you got to play in the system. They already got their score. You know what I mean? So they don't need nobody coming in. They need somebody coming in that can plug in and get what they do.
All right. You mentioned it a little bit. If you had nothing else on Jeremy Sohan, who is it that you would like Washington to select with the 10th overall pick?
Johnny Davis out of Wisconsin.
Okay.
Another guard. The thing I love about him is he gets it done on both ends. He's very good defensively already. And we all know, Lord, we ain't even going to get into that. We're trying to forget that. A lot of trauma last season, watching out. But offensively, he can get his. He can score. He can facilitate. He know how to use his body. He draw charges. I mean, not draw charges. Absorb the contact so he can finish inside. He can shoot from the free throw line. He can shoot from deep. And he can run the team. Like, he's a complete guard already, and he has big game experience already. So we know the elephant in the room. They'll say where he leaves. This kid is insurance regardless. So I think he's the guy. Because I think he's the most rarely made. You know what I mean? That is ready to go. You know what I mean? Because even outside of, just forget about Bill for a second. You got Rule. You've been in the league for a few years. Danny got some years on his own. Six for 4 years. You got guys that are older rookies.
Yeah.
That are like anxious to start winning games. So you need somebody kind of come in and fit that mold, not a young and you got to wait a few years because times are ticking. So I like what he brings overall, man. I think he can come in right away and help, just like Kispert. He was already a shooter. He played it, and he actually proved he was more than a shooter. You know what I mean? So I think this kid can fit right in with him. Well,
I was flipping tabs. Yeah. I'll wait till it happens officially. I got flip the tab for 2 seconds.
it's so funny.
I saw the pick because I just literally out of habit, I clicked on the tab and of course it was at the top of the timeline. So
Oh, yeah. Sound like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, you need that though. Like he's strapped. Like not bro. Complete defender. I'm not even talking about on ball. His dig down, like when he digs down, he calls so many deflections and still just off his dig down, how he hustles back. And when guys flash open, you're not safe. He run you down like a DB in football. Like he's complete. He does it all, man. And then
he has good size on him too, right?
Yeah. So, but the thing is, when you see somebody going all out defending like that, and you don't, it looks bad. So it's gonna force other guys to have to do it, even though he's a rookie. And I know he's gonna bring that from day one because he's eager to prove. So yeah, I just, I've been high on him since he came to work out. I'm like, he's exactly what they need, man. Exactly.
All right, that would does that take us? 1 second. That takes us to 11 once the pick is in. But now, look, everything that you described, things that we're missing in spades here. And then the folks that did do those things, they're closer to my size than your size, so it hurt at times. Him having great size, and like you said, whether you know who's here or not, it's still something that it's still a need for your franchise, and that's the important thing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I like him. He's actually one of my favorite players in the draft because of that. Like he's one guy I'm confident, like he's ready to go. He's like they can have a game tomorrow, you can put him out there. He just needs to learn a couple plays and he'll make an impact. And I think he's just a professional. You know what I'm saying? So
that's huge. Man, they need it, especially at that position.
I mean, bro, he's All-American. He was the first team All-American as a sophomore. So,
man, all right. So I know
6'5", 196, Ops played Pro Bowl. Like he built for it. He ready to go.
I like the fact you said of all the things that you said, kid's professional.
Complete, man.
Man. They still have a couple more picks tonight as well, but it's not a bad way to start it.
Talking about the Wiz, you got more picks?
Yeah, they got a couple more picks.
They do.
But I'm just saying this is not a bad way to start in terms of getting something that is hugely needed. Yeah. It's official now. After the Wizards, we got a team I used to care about. The Knicks pick 11.
Come on, you still love them.
I don't, man.
No. Look, man, don't deny it.
Hey, look, man.
Go ahead and get you a Randall jersey. Call it a day.
You might not even be a Knick by the end of the night.
That is true. That is true. I'm lying about that.
But nah, again, like I'm not mad at the pick at all. Again, things that they needed.
Man, the thing is, Knicks got talent, man. It's not like
no, that's the part they're increasingly frustrating Like, and that's what makes them them. That's literally, if you were looking for a synonym for frustrating, you just say Knicks. Because it's not like they're talent deprived. And you want it, like, if they were that, you'd be okay with it, right? But they're not. You look at some of this, if you were just looking at rosters around the league and you took the logos off or what have you, you wouldn't put that in the bottom half of the league. It's certainly not at the top, but you wouldn't put it at the bottom half of the league. So what are you doing being who you are and where you are? I'm
The
interested
thing
to
is,
see what they do just to
you
show
gotta
us
get
who's
a dude.
here anymore. Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson, I think, is an unrestricted free agent.
Mhm.
Well, I just know he's a free agent. He might be ready to go. And so your other options is Taj Gibson, who's at the end of his career, and Nerlens Noel. You
Yeah,
know,
so you need
so
a big.
Jalen Durant. And like you said, Randall might be on. You know, you just don't know what happened to him. So Jalen Durant. You know, you got Jericho Sims, but I think he's more of a fool. I think he's crazy athletic, but I think he's too raw. I think
Yeah.
Jalen Durant's ready to play right away. So yeah, man. And y'all need a point guard, but it's easy to find point guard than quality bigs.
Yes, it is, especially in today's league. Oh man, that is yeah. Oh man. See, another in another universe, I would be frustrated and upset right now thinking about what they would be doing. This current universe, looking at who's picking 12th.
What?
No, I said in another universe, I'd be concerned about what the Knicks were about to be doing. And this current one, I'm not. OKC takes their second first round pick of the night. Shocker. Next.
Need a
But yeah,
playmaker and need a lot.
yes, they do. They can also
All
they can also stand to offload some things.
right, I'm about to step away. So
All right.
gotta get this person. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to see what Ivy had to say. I'm gonna mute your mic for you while you go. All right, folks. Like Cardo just said, you got the Knicks on the clock. We're waiting to see who their selection is. All right. No, they're still on the clock. Like Cardo was saying, I don't know where they're going with this pick, man. I have no idea what they're about to do. But we're moving on along here. Tonight's draft, little by little. And again, to this point, again, everyone was predicting a ton of trades, myself included. Nothing as of yet. That said, we still got a long way to go tonight. So we'll see where this actually, what it looks like, even by the time we get to the second round, honestly. But again, the pick is in for the Knicks for the seeing who they select. All right. 1 second. Oh, wow. Okay. Ousmane Dieng. All right, Ousmane Dieng. Cardell was talking about him a little earlier. They go forward. It's adding a big, but wasn't expecting his name to pop up at that moment. But excuse me, has some size. Obviously, get a little bit stronger as he continues to play here. But 6'10" forward. Not mad at it in the least bit. Interested to see what else happens with the Knicks this evening. But hey, man. See what Cardell has to say about this pick when he returns again. He left Want to go check out the presser with Johnny Davis again. He's in Capital One for Wizards draft night. All right, hold on. Think we just got a trade. Let's write this down in case. Okay, so the Knicks coming out of this, OKC going back to back. So OKC, remember they took Chet second overall. They just took Ousmane Dieng. We're just talking about. They just traded. We've been laughing about OKC having all these picks that they've been stockpiling. So they just took some of those picks, sent them to the Knicks. We'll see exactly how many picks it was later. It hasn't come out as of this moment. But Ousmane Dieng heading to OKC, the 11th pick. OKC keeps the 12th pick, so they're picking back to back. They're about to have 3 picks in the first 12 of this year's draft. See where they're going here. Interested to see where they go here. Sam Presti is busy. Wow. Okay. Did not see that happening that quick. Just talking about no trades, right? I guess Sam Presti heard us. I'm trying to see if someone shows those multiple first-round picks. Have not seen them as of yet. Keep you guys updated on that. But OKC back on the clock, so they're going back to back. Don't know what they're looking at the moment. Oh, man. Yeah, this is interesting, man. Huh. I really want to see how many picks the Knicks got. I'm currently scrolling Twitter, like I said I wouldn't, or wasn't trying to do, to find what the compensation was. Haven't got it yet. OKC still hasn't made their pick. That's crazy. So they acquired the 11th pick, right? And then kept the 12th. You have that many assets, OKC. And I mean, we all know the answer, but still, I guess that's the luxury in having them, right? You got to use them at some point. Yeah, I have no idea what OKC is about to do. Again, if you guys tune in, man, don't feel free. Don't be afraid to hit the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking about the draft thus far, whether your team has picked or has not picked, what's on your mind, etc. Just hit the comment section. We will address it. We will respond accordingly. Yeah, I didn't see this, man. Okay, so it looks like they went. I'm gonna wait. I'm trying to wait for it to be called. They acquired Ousmane Dieng from the Knicks and then followed it up. Yeah, they followed up with Santa Clara's Jalen Williams, who I like. I know my guy Mike Sykes liked him a lot as well. But man, OKC gonna be up there making a run for one of the longest teams in the league, wingspan and height. Sheesh, man. crazy. All the wingspan for OKC. All right, so again, we're waiting for the pick to officially be announced. I took a little cheat at Twitter in the last minute. Oh yeah, this is yeah, I'm anxious to see who it is, man. Of course, answers aren't being given, but again, I think it was Jalen Williams coming up next for OKC. Silver's hitting the stage right now, at least on my feed. Cardell will return when he returns. Let us know what Johnny Davis had to say in his first appearance with Washington media and beyond, obviously via Zoom. Oh. So Jalen Williams and Ousmane Dieng for OKC, along with Chet Holmgren, who they took second overall. Williams has a clip. It's what I do know. You got some gifted playmakers on that team as well. Wow. Okay. That's tough, man. Did not. It's a crazy trade, man. But again, oh, sorry about that. That's what I meant to have out there. Still looking for that, but you had another long guard. I told you guys he has a clip. Also, someone else can handle the ball over there a little bit. That should be fun between those three. Again, if all three are retained. Talking about the three of SGA, Giddey, this young man, Baisley as well, Poku. Sheesh. Again, an extremely long team. We got Charlotte on the clock next. I think they're still trying to figure out who their head coach is going to be, which makes this draft pick super interesting. Oh, man. All right. So, again, Charlotte's up next. Think about things that Charlotte may need. I know the first thing that comes to mind, a center. They need one bad. They need a five, an impactful five, like yesterday. I don't know who. I think Jalen Duren's still on the board. He hasn't been taken yet. Or if they go Mark Williams, or maybe they surprise us and select the wing, and maybe they move somebody who's currently on their roster. Not sure. But that's the first thing to come to mind when I'm thinking about Charlotte. Immediately, they need an impact player at the five. It would go a long way, especially when a defensive end for that. And also think about what you would be giving a young playmaker like LaMelo Ball. We see the way he connects with Miles Bridges, throwing lobs. You go get somebody who play over the rim. For him, give him a legitimate lob threat at the five. And again, just somebody to anchor them defensively, hit the glass, run the floor. I don't think you're going to be asked to do too much there. But if you're able to do those things, you'd have a great impact. So that's what I think Charlotte should be looking at. Could be super wrong. I don't work inside their front office. Interested to see who they end up selecting. They have not selected as of yet, though. Excuse me 1 second. All right, Charlotte still on the clock at 13. They have not submitted their pick at this moment. Try not to. Yeah, this should be fun. Duran, again, either Duran or Williams going to play with LaMelo Ball would be lovely for yourself as a big. It's not going to be hard for you, man. The man will find you. And again, it's something they need, man. They have a ton of athleticism throughout the roster. They need some at the 5. They truly need some at the 5. Several freak athletes, just none of which happen to play the 5. Give me a second, try to pull up their roster. But man, and they're still trying to figure out the thing with the coach. Yeah, Kenny Atkinson kind of go back on him agreeing to becoming their coach. So they're still out here looking. But yeah, right now, like you had Trez at center last year at times. You got midseason trade. Plumlee, Nick Richards. Again, you needed an impact player at the 5. You got PJ Washington. He's a 4. JT Thor, 4. Jalen McDaniels, 3/4. Kai Jones you took last year, but again, 4. Go get you a 5, man. You need one bad, but again, it's not up to me. I'm gonna keep harping on it. Maybe if I speak it into existence, that is what they'll end up doing, man. But we'll see. Oh wow. Okay. So took a look at Twitter. Cardell was right earlier for the Wizards. I think I got this one right for the Hornets. And again, to me, it was a no-brainer, man. You look at their roster, they need a 5. They have selected the 5. They have selected a 5, to come across the screen in just a little bit. They need it bad, man. Just a rim protect. All you need to do is protect the rim, run the floor. Anything else is a bonus, but protect the rim, run the floor, impact player for that team, and it will go a long way to help them take the necessary steps forward to build on last season. Because they have a good group there, man. Obviously, we don't know if there's been noise about Rozier and or Gordon Hayward being moved, even if they're retaining the services of Miles Bridges or not, right? Not sure about that. But regardless of all those things, you need an impact player at the 5. Excuse me. And I think they did that. It was easy decision. So far, you had the only true center go at the top of the draft, right? And OKC and Chat at the 2, who went 2. The Hornets pick is in. They take Jalen Duren. Should be dynamite with LaMelo Ball. It's really simple. Should be, at times box office, man. Very easy. Should be very easy for those 2 to get a connection going. But he's what they need. Excuse me, exactly what they need. Exactly what they need. So what's it called? In the last couple years, seen a couple teams take physically gifted specimens from Memphis. The Warriors take Wiseman a couple years back, wait for him to get himself on the right track to go. But Jalen Duren, well built for a young man already. Coming, you're already gonna be one of the most physically imposing bigs on that team. They need it, man. They need everything that he brings to the table early. It will be fine, man. Again, has to get better. The free throw line, but man, they won't be fine, man. That was a good pick. I really like that pick. Truly like that pick for them. Coming up next, we got Cleveland. Interested in seeing what they do. We saw the jump they took last year. Health kind of hurt them. They weren't fully right going into the playoffs last year. Ended up in the play-in. Throughout a good chunk of the year, they were in the top half of the East. Sheesh. So what do they add? I'd imagine it'd be another wing, maybe one to help spread the floor a little bit. All right, so Cavs on the clock. Like we said, man, they took a good step. They get Colin Sexton coming back this season. We saw Coro continue this trend in the right direction. But what made them special was that three-headed monster, their 7-foot front court. Was it Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Lauri Markkanen? If you're able to get somebody else on the wing, maybe you can do something where Lauri's able to come off the bench. I don't know if that's something you want to do or not, or just gives you added depth for when you do have lineups where it's not the three bigs, where the 3-footers aren't on the court together. But yeah, man, somebody can shoot the three and defend would definitely help for them, honestly. But Cleveland, again, getting to build on it, man. 44-38 last year, and only because there was a good chunk of the second half of the season where they were missing Jared Allen. And then, of course, they were missing Colin Sexton for longer than that. Oh, wow. Okay. So the madness has begun. Yeah. The madness has begun rather quickly. Oh, man. All right, so Jalen Duren, who was selected. Oh, boy. Jalen Duren, who was selected by the Charlotte Hornets, who I was giving them credit. They have chosen to trade Jalen Duren to the Detroit Pistons, waiting for compensation. Sheesh. This is crazy already. We knew it was going to be nuts. We're just getting started, man. It's the second trade of the night. Okay. So there's several things going on at the same time right now. Sheesh. All right, so what we do know for sure, the Pistons are acquiring Jalen Duren from the Hornets. Cool, we know that. Just saw also that Kemba Walker's on the move from the Knicks to the Pistons. All right, so yeah, the Knicks got Jalen Duren and moved him and Kemba Walker to the Pistons. Sheesh. All right, so we finally got the trade. Took a while, but we're finally here. It's going to be so much easier tomorrow to just look at these things once they're written out and complete. But Charlotte Hornets took Jalen Duren at 13. Well, actually, before that, you had OKC make a trade with the Knicks. So OKC could take Ousmane Dieng at 11. Then they retained their 12th pick. Cool, no issue there. That's fine. Next thing that happened, you get the Charlotte Hornets who take Jalen Duren at 13. They ship him to New York. New York shipping him along with Kemba Walker to Detroit. That's where we are at this point. Man, when somebody gets a graphic together, I would happily put this thing in there. Okay, but what we do know is Ochai Agbaji from Kansas going to the Cavaliers like that. Again, somebody who can help stretch the floor a little bit, give them some more size on the wing. Obviously, it's Cleveland. They're going to ask you to play defense there, something we know the young man can do. But again, a lot of people know him best for shooting the ball, particularly from range. Again, for Cleveland, not mad at that pick at all. Depth, man. Depth. We saw what happened this past year where, some folks went down and you suffered a little bit. Obviously, still good enough to get to playing and then the postseason in turn. But depth, not mad at that at all. Really like what he brings to the table, man. Oh, man. Again, it's going to be hard to follow these trades tonight, man. Very, very hard to follow these. And we still didn't get the compensation for this either. All right, so the Pistons are sending the Hornets a 2025 first-round pick via Milwaukee in the Duren trade. Detroit got that pick from Portland in the Jeremy Grant deal yesterday. So the pick that Detroit got for trading Jeremy Grant has already been used in this trade just now. Sheesh. All right, so for Detroit, we just talking about Troy Weaver and singing his praises earlier, right? So far tonight, Ivy Bay, you got Ivy and Duran so far. Sheesh. Yeah, this is we told y'all I'd probably get nuts, man, and yeah, this is gonna be nuts. All right, so what we got so far? Oh, okay. Saw that already. Yeah, so that 2025 first round pick is moved quite a bit already in literally the last 48 hours. It was used to get Jeremy Grant for Detroit. You know, that's what they got in that trade. Man, yeah, give me. I'm trying to wrap my mind around this, man. Sheesh. Yeah, that's crazy. So Charlotte's back on the clock at 15. Everything I said a little while ago about them needing a 5, it hasn't changed. So I wouldn't be shocked if, you know, it was Jalen Duren earlier. The only other guy I mentioned at that spot was Mark Williams. Wouldn't be shocked if this is the place where Mark Williams went off the board. So he's not leaving too far from where he played college ball at least bit. But yeah, I'm waiting for a graphic for this trade to come up so I can put it on the screen for you guys, but things make it a little bit easier. Troy Weaver's working, man. Working. Sheesh, man. Yeah, that's tough right there, man. This is crazy. All right, someone has broke down the journey of the 2025 first round pick. It initially belonged to the Milwaukee Bucks. In November of 2020, it's traded to New Orleans in the Jrue Holiday trade, unprotected. February 2022, it went to Portland. It went to Portland from New Orleans in the CJ McCollum trade. It was top 4 protected. Then June now it went from Detroit. It went to Detroit in the Jeremy Grant trade from Portland. That's crazy. It's crazy. That pick has had that much action already. But again, for the Pistons, that's not bad at all, man. You can't be mad at that. And Troy Weaver, my God, that's tough, man. That's tough, man. That's truly tough. That's not bad at all, man. Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. Sheesh. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. That's truly, truly tough. All right, so the Hornets are picking. I believe it is Mark Williams, which means the Hawks are on the clock next. Yeah, Mark Williams from Duke. So again, whoever the big was going to be, man, you're not asked to do much, but the things that you're asked to do, if you do them well, impact player, man. And all of it is what your team needs. Mark Williams, of course, is the brother of Elizabeth Williams, currently a center on the Washington Mystics, which they acquired this past offseason. Mystics do have a game tonight. She got permission to go. I'm sure you guys heard that on the broadcast, but the Mystics do have a game tonight. Starts at 10. They're in Seattle this evening. But man, it's what they needed, man. It's what they needed. It's what they needed. So kudos to Charlotte for that, man. It's exactly what they needed. Oh man. Again, Charlotte, kudos to that. All right, hold on. All right. Ricardo was just in the presser in person with Wizards GM and head coach. So when he gets back, we'll talk a little bit about that. And then now he's about to get into Johnny Davis presser, about to talk to the media. So I had it a little bit backwards earlier via Zoom. So when he returns, he'll give us an idea of a little bit of insight of what was being said to this point. But look, man, not mad at it at all for Charlotte. Interesting to get here, but at the end of the day, they went and got a center. So that's truly what's important here. Again, up next, we got the Atlanta Hawks. Oh, man. Troy Weaver again, man. Great job by him thus far tonight. Oh, man. All right, so Woj is breaking down that trade that took me forever to try to piece together per his and Sham's tweets earlier. But, man. Troy Weaver got both of the guys he wanted. Cade has to be happy. Sadiq Bey has to be happy. Detroit fans, the luxury of having a good GM, man. It's huge. And what that did for the Knicks by sending Kemba Walker to Detroit per Sportrack on Twitter. Kemba Walker brings a 1-year deal for about $9 million with him to the Pistons. So that's something they got enough cap space. They could buy him out if they want to, obviously. But the Knicks free up $13 million in cap space this year by that trade. And then he said they have a chance to get to $15 million plus a cap space with if they make a few more moves. So the Knicks are clearly trying to land a big fish, whether it's a free agency or trying to get it done before free agency for them. Again, the Hawks are on the clock and the pick is in. See who they're going to take. After the Hawks, who we have coming up? After the Hawks, we have the Rockets again. So. Oh, man. Yeah. AJ Griffin to the Hawks. Get you another wing. You got DeAndre Hunter. You get AJ Griffin. Obviously, been a bunch of noise about whether or not John Collins is going to remain on the Hawks or not. But again, what we've been talking about tonight, adding players that can defend multiple positions doesn't hurt anybody. only helps teams, and Atlanta certainly needs a defense. DeAndre Hunter has to be happy to see another person on the wing that can also defend. Griffin shot the ball well from deep at Duke last year. And again, we'll see what else this means for other players on Atlanta. But as of right now, solid pick by them. And again, it's another person that can help stretch the floor, open things up for Trey. Not bad at all. Solid pick, especially for what he does on the defensive end. They truly, truly need it in Atlanta. All right, up next, we got the Rockets. Pick has not been turned in as of yet. Yeah, this. I can't believe they were. Shout out to Detroit, man. That's what you're supposed to be able to go. That's what you're supposed to do. You got a couple players you want to get, go get them. And they did that. And it cost them one pick, and it wasn't their pick. Man. Sheesh. It cost them a first-round pick that wasn't theirs. So shout out to Detroit for that. Ivy and Duren. Oh, yeah, okay. So the Rockets, adding to that group of adding to their collection of long, rangy players that can defend. Look like their pick's going to be in soon. I know some people, some Wizards fans had this person linked to their team when it comes up in a little bit. But I think they did the right thing tonight. But for Houston, dude, they're going to be running. They are running. Oh, man. Yeah, man, I'm still stuck on the Detroit trade. I'm sorry. Like, I'll get over it at some point, maybe tomorrow morning. Not at this moment. Yeah, it's going to take me a little bit. But, man, that's big. You got Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren tonight. It didn't cost you any of your picks at all. Again, Houston's on the clock. I saw what the pick is on Twitter already. Going to wait till it comes across television, though. The television broadcast. Oh, man. All right, so Houston's still on the clock. I don't even want to say the person because I saw it already. Feel like I'm cheating. But, all right, well, if you guys been watching Draymond since they won the championship, he's been on Twitter attacking folks that have been at their necks prior to them winning the championship. He apparently has time tonight during tonight's NBA draft. He's currently told you guys Perk is on the broadcast. Draymond is in going full Draymond. Surprising nobody here. Man. All right. Coming down on a minute left for the Rockets. We'll have Cardell back with us soon. Yeah, I think. Look, go ahead and say, man. I think it's Tari Eason. I believe it's Tari Eason. That's exactly what was reported. So it's not that I think, but. Yeah, this should. Oh, man. Again, Troy Weaver, man. Sheesh. All right, so I think Woj said it's Tari Eason is the pick for Houston, which again, another guy that is fully capable of defending, and he brings some size to them. You know, we've seen them at times have 6'4", 6'5" players playing the four at times, 6'6" even. Get somebody with a little bit more size, can't hurt at all. Oh man. Yeah, folks got a lot of comments on on social about the first draft, first few picks this far. Well, the picks to this point, I should say. Up next, we got the Bulls at 18. I think clearly they're drafting for depth, unless they end up making a big move. But as of this moment, no, they haven't. Yeah, stuff. But again, anybody's tuned in, man, you're welcome to hit the comment section. Let us know what you guys are thinking about the draft thus far this evening. Definitely would love to hear what you guys think to this point. All right, so as expected, we're talking about in that trade with the Knicks in Detroit. But first, Tari Eason is the pick for the Rockets. Back to that trade with Detroit, the Knicks, Charlotte, all of those moving pieces. Kemba Walker's moved from the Knicks to the Pistons. Again, it was he's an expiring deal. Was bought out. Woj tweeted there that he and the Pistons are expected to discuss a contract buyout that would allow him to become a free agent. Again, we know how Walker got there per that trade. All right. So Tari Eason for the Rockets. Not mad at that at all. Man, I wonder what that does, because if Kemba is bought out, obviously no one's going to be bringing him in to be a lead guard or start in any capacity. I would be shocked if that was to happen. But if that's something you can have, at a reasonable price to come off your bench, if you're someone who wants to be contender or looking for guard depth, and you don't want to try to wait and get somebody out this class, someone who might be ready right away to do just that, you could do far worse. The Kemba is, in the Lou Williams role or something of that nature. If that is, if we're entering that part of his career, and we'll see if and when he gets bought out. The Bulls on the clock. That's crazy. All right. All right. We got Bulls with the Bulls, Wolves, and Spurs up next. Again, congrats to all those who have been drafted thus far. The Bulls up next. Expect the depth. I just don't know who they're going to be looking at in depth. Could be a guard, honestly. I know they had moments last year with both Caruso and Lonzo missed time, and their absences were really felt. Yeah, man. Again, what Detroit did. I'm gonna keep going back to that because I still don't believe it. They have a core now, in what they've added tonight, and You keep that together and you see where that goes, but they should be able to make some noise. Oh man. All right. So yeah, up next we got the Bulls. Okay, the Bulls pick is in fact in. So we'll see who they select. Then we'll see who becomes the newest member of the Memphis Grizzlies after that. No, I'm sorry, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah. So the Knicks are up to 16.3 in projected cap space after Kemba was moved. Keith Smith just tweeted the Knicks are within one salary dumping trade to get to 25 million ish or more in cap space. You know, a bunch of the noise was that they were going to try to create space to make a run at one Jalen Brunson. We'll see if it is in fact Jalen Brunson, or if they're creating space for a reason, clearly for somebody. And we'll find out who that person is in time. I'm sure we will. Dude, still stuck on that trade, man. It's happening just like that. But meanwhile, while celebrating what Detroit's done, the Rockets continue to add to their young core. Honestly, they're doing a solid job at that as well. Both of those teams trying to add to those young groups and go forward. See nothing wrong with that. The goal is, if you while you're picking this high, get enough quality talent that you don't pick this high again, man. You don't want to revisit this. You don't want this to be a continued thing year to year. That's what you don't want. Just don't. But again, shout out to Troy Weaver, man, for that trade. So it looks like the Bulls are going to be selecting Dalen Terry, 18. Wait for it to be announced. But again, the pick is in. Got Minnesota next. And then the Spurs. All right, let's see what's happening next. Again, a good year from the Bulls last year. Like I said, I would expect nothing but depth. I don't see them moving any of their, I think for the most part, they want to see what the group they constructed last year can do if they're all healthy. And they weren't that last year. Obviously, in the postseason, no Lonzo. For most of the year, they didn't have everybody. So again, I think it was Dalen Terry. Dalen Terry from Arizona going to the Bulls. Great size on him, 6'7". And the good thing at that size, a lot of different combinations you can pair him with. Should be fun. Some hilarious tweets at this moment about Knicks fans. I don't think it's that bad, man. But we'll see. All right, we got Cardell back. What's going on, man?
Good.
Man, a lot has happened while you were busy.
As y'all see, I'm trying to see
All right,
Detroit.
So I'll fill you in. Troy Weaver's been busy. He went ahead and got the two guys at the top of his board. So the draft was going along fine. The Hornets, they got to their selection. Cool. Oh, well, actually, I take it back. The Knicks picked at 11. They took Jalen Duren. Then OKC called and was like, no, we're gonna take him, or we'll give you picks so we can pick 11. And they kept their 12th pick. They pick New York, packages that along with the A lot. So New York takes Kemba Walker, Jalen Duren in the trade they made with Charlotte, shifts that to Detroit. Duren staying in Detroit. All the Pistons did was that 2025 Milwaukee Bucks pick they got back from Portland that was in the CJ McCollum trade. That's what went to Charlotte. And they kept everything else. And they got Duren and Kemba. And obviously, Kemba's in the last year of his deal. They're already expected to talk buyout. But what's important is they ended up with Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren. Then the Hornets ended up getting a big. They took Mark Williams a few picks later, but that's what they ended up doing. But Detroit, that core grew a little bit tonight. And, yeah.
Bunch of youngins. And he got guys that are proven. I saw during the high school. He came here to DC and played at the St. James and the KD the first year. Y'all were there. I think y'all were there. We all were there. And he was a man child. Obviously injuries and a lot of behind the scenes stuff went down to Memphis, so he wasn't even able to show everything he got. But he's a beast. And that's what they needed, man. And then you had Jaden and Ivy to kind of take the pressure off KD. I mean, Troy Weaver doing Troy Weaver things, man. Ain't nothing new.
Not at all.
Doing what he did in OKC, just in Detroit.
In record time, too. They're not wasting any time adding to that core, which is what's important. Because, like you said, you mentioned OKC. We saw what happened with those guys as they grew together, how impactful that was. Obviously, we know how that ended, but as far as your GM job in terms of stockpiling and collecting talent, man, hell of a job thus far, especially with the trade tonight. I know you were just in a couple pressers. Go ahead and enlighten us and some of the things you took from it. I know we'll share some of that stuff later.
I mean, the main things that you can highlight about Davis is his competitiveness and his defensive ability. They're really excited about those two things. And we all know those are two things that were missing last year. As far as having him on board, that's something that, once I said he has to wait and see how he handles that when, he gets to work practicing with the guys. But, they're very excited, man. They were trying to hide it, but you could just tell they got the guy they wanted. You know what I mean? And, he's a dog. Like I said, people watching, don't take my word for it. Pull up game footage. He competes on that end. And he even just stated that in his presser. He's like, shots, come and go. They fall. Sometimes you miss. He said, but the one constant you can always bring on the basketball court is defense. Your defense energy and effort. And so he's like years ahead with that. And that's when you're a young player in this league, that's how you get on the floor. Unless you were a top pick, and they count on you to come in and just give you the keys and do what you do. Other guys, the other rooks, you get on the floor by doing that time. You're going to start from the defense and that. So you get stopped, you're going to get your minutes. That increases trust. So then the coach will throw you a bone here. Here's a play for you. Here, bring the ball up, do this, do that. Look for him in the post. But you got to give them that side first, man. And, unfortunately, a lot of, these days, a lot of young players move with the opposite, understanding like, I should be doing this and then I give you that, and it don't work that way. So, I'm excited for what I see, man. He's tailor made for what they need. Nothing like talking need. He's it. You know what I mean? And just hearing him talk, I can tell he's just all around dog. Like he's not gonna be in awe. He's not gonna be scared. I could just see him telling my son, say, yo, put me on the Kyries, put me on the KDs, put me on Drew Holiday, whoever, put me on them. And he's gonna get after him. So those are basically the two main things I signed up from all the presses. We'll post more, later on, but all in all, they got the guy they wanted.
Again, I can't wait to sit down and watch the pressures in their whole and see the clips that you post. But again, it's what was needed. It's what was sorely needed. And to hear that, how refreshing it is, and I don't have to tell you, but it is beyond refreshing to hear a young player say that. Something to hear from veteran players talk about constants and defense being it, about shots come and go. It's refreshing to hear that from a rookie. young player in general. I know they have a couple more picks tonight. Also, you know, there's still like we're not gonna know everything compensation wise in that trade tonight between the Knicks, the Hornets, and the Pistons, and for probably a couple more hours. Just found out just now that a couple second round picks went to the Knicks from the Hornets in that deal.
Yeah.
So some folks were like, that's what the Knicks are getting. So
the Hornets got.
they didn't even say the second round picks are for this year or not. They're just saying they got a couple seconds in return as well.
So who did they get? You know, I was in the presser.
Oh yeah, they took Mark Williams.
They drafted. I got you.
Yeah,
got you.
So they were in the spot to take Duren, traded him, ended up down at 15, and then took Mark Williams.
And got a couple picks with that. Cool.
Yep. Which what I was saying while you were gone was bottom line is they needed an impact big, and you know they walked away with somebody who could make an impact there, but they sorely needed it. So very bad. So very bad.
And that's what
Spurs on the clock now.
Again. So I wonder what. So my man from Kentucky might not be getting it done.
It's about Tata.
No, Nick Richards.
Nick Richards.
They drafted Mark.
Oh yeah, no. I think that was an indictment on how they feel about that position. Yeah.
Yep. And the drama with Trez.
Yep. Because right now, what was it? It was Trez, who I think might be a free agent. So the only centers set, like people listed as centers on the roster, is Plumlee and Nick Richards.
And the rook from Texas, Kai Jones.
Oh yeah, Kai. But yeah.
Yeah, rook. So
outside of that, they got a ton of 3s and 4s.
And they weren't that good defensively either.
At all.
25th, and they allow 115 basically a game. So they need a shot block, and that's what Mark Williams does. But you know, that's the family business, him and the sister. So
yes, it is.
Family business, protecting the paint.
Hey man, it's not a bad business to be in either. It's something that's always needed. Someone's always gonna need it. All right, so the Spurs pick is in. I think he's a little bit ahead of me. But yeah, that's far, man. Again, like I haven't been able to, I apologize to folks that tune in by this now or later. I'm still stuck on the Detroit trade and how they swung that, because I don't think folks realize how big that is. 14 picking, what did you have? You had a top 5 pick and you ended up getting somebody else, you know, somebody lottery talent wise, or somebody you deemed high enough. If you had 2 top 10 picks, you would have spent on them. Like that's nuts.
Look, Isaiah Stewart and Duren inside. Man, I hope cats got their weight up. But
you gonna find out who wants to play. Yeah,
that's why I love Troy Weaver, because you're not making any noise in the East without getting through with Embiid and Giannis. It's just, and I even throw Bam in there. And Rob Williams.
Yeah.
Defensively.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, man, you're not making any noise unless you got some days that can rumble, man. It's just as simple as that. So
talk about rumbling. Them 2 dudes, it's dog. That's alley fights every night. Whoever got to deal with them dudes. Mm-hmm. Both of them are built for it.
Spurs just drafted Malachi Branham.
Mm-hmm.
At Ohio. Ohio State, same house as LeBron, it's the same area, so you know, another.
Getting added to a talented group of guards over there, young guards over there.
Yes, sir.
Like we know DeJounte has his place solidified, but yeah, for the others, it's gonna be fun.
I think Keldon pretty good too.
Oh, that's true.
Awesome.
Especially coming off the Team USA thing too, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freaking Spurs, man.
another athletic guard.
Oh, Spurs, the Spurs, the Spurs.
Yeah.
Not shocked in the least bit. Sheesh. Yeah. After the Spurs, we got the Nuggets up next. The Nuggets and the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies be making their first selection of the night. One of the other things that happened while you were going, the Bulls took Dale and Terry, the guard out of Arizona, to add to their depth. We know they had stretches last year, and even in the postseason, they weren't completely healthy in terms of what they had, in the backcourt without having Lonzo. They miss him for stretches. They miss Caruso for stretches as well. So adding to that group doesn't hurt in the least bit because they didn't even get a full chance to see what, their kind of new core they currently constructed last year could really do, and kind of take a page out of your book. Whatever ends up happening with Levine, it doesn't hurt to add another guard either, whether he's retained or not. So Denver's making their first pick in the, after they've swapped, after they've made the change, in GMs, see what they'll be looking at. It's another group where it's depth because there's another group where they're missing some of their main guys last year. Joker was out there all year. No MPJ, no Jamal Murray.
You got Bones though.
Right, for sure. Bones, you got year 2 of Bones.
Facu.
So you think they're looking for something else on the wing or getting some depth in the front court? And I know one of the things they loved last year was having Boogie as a backup to Joker.
But they have enough on the perimeter, man. That's tough because sometimes you play Jeff Green and just they might go with the Kessler kid.
Okay.
I can see them probably going with that possibly, especially with Jamal and Michael Porter Jr. coming back. Then you got Bones, you got Will. I know Monte Morris in a lot of talks, probably getting shit, but they deep on the perimeter.
Yes, they are.
But you need somebody defensively to help you out on that front line with size, and I think they might go with him. Or maybe they draft for somebody because they're not far off.
Yeah.
Maybe they draft for somebody to get a veteran.
Like you said, that's something to keep an eye on tonight too. Whether that trade happens literally on draft night or not. A lot of folks that were around last year, if you're trying to just close the gap, a rookie might not be what does it. That's not an indictment on a rookie, just being real about where teams are.
Absolutely.
And they still haven't sent details about the picks OKC sent New York. It's supposed to be some future first. They haven't said when those picks are. All right, so the picks in.
Got the Kansas going Christian Braun.
Okay.
He blew up at the combine. Well, he blew up in the tournament, then he just solidified things in the combine.
So adding to that depth for them, huh? If they keep
Playoff
him.
Joker.
Yeah.
Playoff Joker. Yeah. Playoff Joker. Another shooter. He has that size and athleticism to get stopped. So that's one
Certainly
thing
need
like
people that can do
Jamal.
that. Yeah.
That's one thing they lack on the perimeter, man. Yeah, guards that can get stopped.
Yeah, and he's gonna enjoy the looks he gets if he does stay there. Playing with Joker, you get some great looks.
And a lot of times he just make you open.
The pass to take you to the open space.
Mm-hmm.
To double down on what you were talking about a little while ago. What's it called? KD just tweeted it's a wings league.
So what?
KD just tweeted it's a wings league. When you talk about earlier, it's about how important it is to have those types of players that can defend out on the wing.
It's a wings league. That's what he said.
Yeah.
All right.
Last two MVPs would definitely say otherwise.
Exactly.
Right.
And the champs were guided by, I think, guards.
Yep.
And wouldn't have won that without the players on one side. So, man, it is what it is. Of course, he's going to favor what he is.
All right. So, what would you be doing too much, man?
What?
All right. Nothing. So it's on the screen now on the broadcast, but your man's acting up right now. Timberwolves on the move.
For the trade.
Yeah.
I can't see. Gotta check out what you're saying.
Yeah, they just chose to become active at this point. What the? Oh man! All right, got trades after trade after trade now. Yeah.
Walker Kessler went to Memphis. Ooh. But Minnesota.
Yeah. and the proposed trade to Minnesota. Yeah.
So that means Towns gonna go to the 4, and he gonna play the 5, and they gonna be big as hell inside.
Yes, they are.
And then allow Towns to play his natural game, trying to be an outside in. and this kid, he's nice in the pick and roll, man. He rolls right angles, and he finishes strong. He don't go up like he clumsy, like, oh God, I don't know what this. Nah, he going up to dunk it. And then for sure, he rebounds and block shots, man. His defense inside is crazy.
Yeah, that's a welcome sight there. Yeah, it's truly a welcome sight there.
They might have messed up because Jokic need help back there, especially with his lack of athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
You can attack those guys, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yep.
Leave that alone for personal reasons. I'm not gonna go
there. No need. But yeah, that's So again, now we got another proposed trade. They're supposed to be moving this pick for D'Anthony Melton. I'm sorry. Yeah, this we knew it was gonna be trades, and we're starting to get to them. So again, the 23rd pick by Philadelphia is being sent to, as a part of a proposed trade, being sent to Memphis for D'Anthony Melton. We'll see what Memphis decides to do with this. Yeah, that's. Oh, they playing that. That's not right to play on the broadcast. Oh man. All right, so if you're Memphis, you got a first round pick. Obviously, D'Anthony Melton's now gone. What are you looking for here?
For the Sixers?
Yeah. No, not for the Grizzlies, because the Sixers are trading the pick for D'Anthony Melton.
The Grizzlies. That's tough because they're pretty deep now.
Right.
They're just young. One thing that do concern me, Ja, he's already getting banged up. So, with that backcourt set, Steven Adams, I don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen with Steven Adams, so they might look for something. Steven Adams is a free agent, right? Is he?
He just. I'm sorry. He just ruined the draft on live television. My man is on the road.
What are you talking about?
Woj. Oh man. Yeah. After Memphis, what is this? We're at 23. So after Memphis, we have Milwaukee. But picks in, we'll see what they're going to be doing here.
Got another shooter. That's cool. Yeah, he fit right in. He fit right in with Memphis. That's a great pick.
Oh yeah. He's really 260? Sheesh.
Man, hold on. I gotta see if that's a typo.
Was that a typo? Like, that's what they put. This at 6'6", 261. I'm like,
no. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's a big boy. He playing on the wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he up there. He listed like 255 at school.
Okay.
Yeah. You moving and jumping and punching on people like that? Okay.
Man, getting downhill with a purpose. He gets that shoulder in. Sheesh. All right. Up next, we got the Bucks at 24.
Oh boy.
What happened? What I miss?
Nah, they don't need much. They just need to stay healthy.
Oh, you talking about the Grizzlies? Yeah.
I'm talking about the Bucks.
Oh, okay. Nah, they damn sure don't need much. Sheesh.
Probably get another guard because Grayson and Pat they ain't look too good in the playoffs.
Danny Green was part of that trade too, to Memphis.
So he's going to Memphis?
Yeah, it was Danny Green and the 23rd pick.
Wow.
went from Philly to Memphis for DeAnthony Melton.
Wow. Boy.
So whether they choose to keep Danny or not, it's an option. They got that. They got Danny Green and that young man for DeAnthony Melton. They're out there working. Sheesh, man. So we'll definitely be talking about the draft, obviously, in coming days. Talk about it a little bit more. See if we'll have a morning show tomorrow or not. If not tomorrow morning, we'll definitely be back Monday morning to get to it. Because at least then I know for sure the trades won't be murky. They will be simple and spelled out, and we should have an idea of what the freaking compensation is for some of these trades. You weren't here, man. I was trying to piece it together off Twitter. It's confusing when Shams and Woj both can't beat each other to making sense of a trade. Had a whole lot of moving pieces. Like they were both getting bits and pieces, and you had to put their tweets together to get the whole picture at the end. Because Knicks fans was like, "What are we getting? You told us everything else but that." But again, no.
Yeah,
you got a lot of famous. What'd you say?
Yeah, I saw a couple of famous Knicks fans just going through it.
Right. Stephen A. was out here like this on set. Spike had to come console him.
I just want to know you are. You know what I'm saying? You want to know
me? Oh man, stress free. Gave that up, never looked back. Whatever they do now is pure entertainment. It's pure entertainment. I can only imagine how I feel to sit there and be like, oh man, they're gonna what? Man, I used to remember those feelings. Why? But why would you do that? Nah, man. Like, look, man, just know being a Knicks fan ain't that much different than being a Kings fan. It ain't that. It's not that far away from it, man. It's just it puts you through a lot. I got to say.
Yeah, but for the Bucks, and I understand, but for the Bucks, I just see them going with a wing because you saw they don't have much depth once Chris Middleton went down.
Yep.
And that's no disrespect to Grace and Pat, but they playoff runs that they trying to make need somebody that can hold up, and they couldn't hold up. So I expect to see them get another talented guard, wing, or something like that.
Like, look, man, you speaking the truth because that's the thing they found out. You're saying the same thing they all saw. That's what was on, and that was on. It was on the grand stage that we all saw what happened once he went down. Because in theory, sometimes you'd be like, okay, we could be okay, but they got to see it firsthand to know that we are not, in fact, okay if he goes down for an extended period of time. Like, had you had a person that could hold it down, at least get you out the series, you might have got him back in the next round. But
they drafted Marjon Beauchamp out the G League. Like,
G League, okay.
Like I said, Wayne, because when he went down, Tatum and Jaylen Brown went to work, and they couldn't stop the bleeding from there.
Yeah. Man.
So he's ideal.
All right, then after them, the Spurs are up again.
Come on, Pop.
Told you a couple teams had 2 or 3 first-round picks, man. So not only are the Spurs up again, the Rockets are back up after the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Again. Sheesh. All right, folks, what we're going to try to do is I'm going to try to hang out to the end of the first round. We'll let you guys enjoy the second round, and we'll get back up with you guys in the coming days. Like I said, we might have a morning show tomorrow. We might not. Working on a special project that we got going on this weekend. So you guys will hear about that. Put it like this. I expect to see you guys bright and early Monday morning for the morning show. Everybody some time to take in the draft and whatnot, and we'll talk draft and free agency come Monday morning.
Yes, sir.
But yeah.
I'm gonna end it with this pick.
Okay.
If definitely check him out. Efficient scorer. He was kind of one of the first kids that did the chameleon training. Then instead of finishing high school, he did the chameleon training. Then got selected for the G League Ignite. Put in work there. Was one of their top scorers, and he's going to a great situation where he can learn. You know what I mean? And once again, defense. He has the ability to be I won't say great right away, but good defender and can develop into a great one. Man, he has this opportunity to learn from one of the best, well, two of the best, and Drew and Giannis off top. You know what I mean? Then you add in the way he can score the ball efficiently, and that's key because young players not gonna get a lot of shots. So when he get them, you gotta make them count, and then that will earn trust where you can get more shots. So 3-and-D guy, that's what they need. And if Chris Middleton probably do go down, hopefully by the time I hope he don't first of all, but let's say he does, hopefully this kid can get enough Clark, get reps, develop enough so when the playoffs come, it's not so glaring of a big issue for them. Because when he went down, it hurt. I really think that's the reason why they didn't meet the Warriors in the finals. To be honest.
No, I mean, right, the drop off. It was too big of a drop off when he went out. It was just too big. Like you said, if they had somebody, obviously, if not to give you the exact same production, but just something close to it, does a lot. But right, it wasn't anything remotely close to it. Especially defensively, seeing as Pat and Grayson aren't they're not the tallest guys on the wing.
And they just miss his easy scoring, especially from mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever things got stagnant offensively, they could give it to Chris and he can keep it going. They didn't have that. So basically, the Celtics just ganged up on Giannis. Like, just crowd the paint. And they pulled it out. So hopefully this kid can develop. And now you have two of them out there hitting mid-range. So
I was about to say earlier when you brought it up, Giannis got jumped once he went down. Okay. So real quick, they got a report on what the Hornets got back for Jalen Duren in the trade.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a 2023 first from Denver. They got 3 second-round picks in 2023 from the Knicks, the Jazz, and either Dallas or Miami. And then they also got a 2024 second.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So they must be playing on a trade.
Yeah. That's a bunch of assets. Yeah.
And they don't even have a coach. So I think they are some type of trade to get all those picks. So
those are the type of things where if you choose to keep Miles Bridges or you don't, you could package him with a couple of them assets to go get you something you probably wouldn't have been in a conversation with to begin with. Or it's something to go get you something just to add. It might not be obviously upper echelon, but it puts you in some discussions. We don't know. We don't know the price for some things until the price comes out.
Exactly. I'm about to get up out of here.
I appreciate you.
All right. I'll hop on later.
Yep. All right, folks. So the pick is in for the Spurs. Cardo's out, and what he's talking about later, we'll be back on a little bit later this evening to talk about the Mystics. They're playing the Seattle Storm right now out in Seattle. But again, the pick is in for the Spurs. Let's see where we at for that. Oh, wow. Okay. And this is what the Knicks got back from OKC. Sheesh. Blake Wesley to the Spurs, sorry. But for the folks wondering what the Knicks got in that trade earlier, they got a 20. These are all first-round picks from 2023 from Detroit, Washington, and Denver. Sheesh. Oh, my goodness. All right, Blake Wesley to the Spurs, another guard. Man. That's tough, man. And the pick from Washington is what the Wizards got in the Wall trade. Sheesh. Yeah, that's tough. But the Spurs adding another guard can't hurt at all. I'm interested to see what they end up doing, man. They are stockpiling pieces over there. And again, we still got to see what the protections are on those first round picks that New York acquired. But so far, the Spurs, Jeremy Sochan tonight, Malachi Branham, and then Blake Wesley. It's not a bad night of work. Excuse me, at all. Pick up next, we got, picking next. We got the Dallas Mavericks, but this trade should be going to the Rockets. Oh, my goodness. And again, we'll be ending after the first round, and then we'll see you guys. We'll talk more about this Monday morning on Mornings with the Focus. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good haul for the Knicks. The very least, it's not a bad haul, man. It's not a bad haul at all. Talk about who's on the board still. Got Jaden Hardy of the G League still on the board. Who else is around right? Nikola Jovic still available. Kennedy Chandler. EJ Liddell hasn't been selected yet, I don't believe. Neither is Wendell Moore. Ty Washington is still available. So we got a couple options for, I guess, what would end up being the Rockets here. Oh wow, okay. Well, I just mentioned Wendell Moore. See what happens. So it's another proposed trade. So see how this plays out. Man, it's too much going on right now. Sheesh. And we are a couple picks away from the current reigning champion selecting. See if they keep their pick or not. Oh, wow. Okay. The pick is in. See where this goes. All right. So some more information on the protection on this pick from the Knicks. The 23 first rounder from Detroit, it's protected 1 through 18 through 2024, 1 through 13 and 25, 1 through 11 and 26, 1 through 9 and 27. The 2023 from Washington, it's 1 through 14 in 2023 protected 1 through 12 and 24. 1 through 10 and 25 and 1 through 8 in 2026. And then the 2023 first ticket from Denver is protected 1 through 14 through 2025. So. All right, Dallas selects Wendell Moore Jr. from Duke. Versatile wing. And again, that's the key for the night. Get you folks that can defend multiple positions on the wing. Not exactly great size, but still solid size. And we're going to see if he ends up staying in Dallas, though. Because just saw some things a little bit earlier that is part of a trade. So we shall see. All right, so it's Houston making that selection via Dallas, and they're trading it to Minnesota. So again, that was Dallas's pick. It belonged to Houston via trade, part of the Christian Wood trade, and Wendell Moore will be sent to Minnesota. That's where he will. That's who he will actually be playing for. So to get to the end of that, it took a little bit. It's a lot tonight. I can't wait tomorrow to look back at this stuff and see that the compensation makes sense. Everything's where it's supposed to be. But for the Knicks, that's a lot of all those picks are lottery protected, like for the most part. But we'll see how that works out for them. If it works out where, the ping pong balls bounce the right ways, then it's not an issue. It's nothing to worry about at all. If it doesn't, it's one of those that's so Knicks things. Up next, we got Miami, followed by the Warriors. So we're gonna see where that goes. But right now, we got Miami on the clock. Interested in seeing what Pat Riley's going to do here. Oh, man. All right. So Miami hasn't put their pick in as of yet. But we'll be ending the first round with Miami, Golden State, Memphis, and the Nuggets. Thanks to anyone who tuned in tonight and to those of you that are tuning in later. Appreciate you guys. But potentially, if things work in their favor, the Knicks will have a ton of assets to use in next year's draft, or they'll have them this offseason for deals. Miami's still on the clock, followed by Golden State. Let's see what we have here. Oh, wow. All right. Is this where Jaden Hardy from the G League? We've had two guys go from the G League already. Ty Washington maybe is falling farther than some people initially thought going into the draft, or not, depending on what you thought, where you thought his stock was going into this. But he's still on the board. Interested to see who ends up going at the end of the first round. Okay, so folks out here, low-key ruining the draft by shaded picks early have made it known who's in. So at 27 for Miami, I think it's Nikola Jovic. I believe it's what I just saw. All right, so the pick is in. I believe it's Nikola Jovic. So if I can read correctly, a little tired at the moment, but I believe it's Nikola Jovic, which doesn't hurt. A little bit more size to their front court. Obviously skilled as well. So All right. Up next, we got the words like we were saying. So, again, folks still on the board. Peyton Watson, Jaden Hardy. You guys see some of them names on the broadcast at the moment as well. Ty Washington, Kennedy Chandler, EJ Liddell, I believe. EJ Liddell still hasn't been selected. But again, I believe it's Nikola Jovic for the Miami Heat at 27. Trevor Keel's out there as well. Sorry. Duke's been cleaning up. I think they need one more pick and ties a record from Kentucky from most players from one school drafted in the first round. All right, so Adam Silver's walking to the podium now. Okay. Nikola Jovic from Serbia to the Miami Heat. Might be fun. In Miami, helped him. Another guy to space the floor, but make sure he can move his feet a little bit on the defensive end, man. They need it. But again, size and skill never hurts. All right, so Golden State's next. Again, mentioned some of the players that are available and on the board at the moment. So Pat Riley's going to do Pat Riley things, man. All right. Golden State's on the clock right now. Miami took Nikola Jovic. Not to be confused with Nikola Jokic or Nikola Vucevic. Couple born in the leagues. First name is Nikola. All right. Still waiting for the Dubs to pick. Man, a lot of it's still probably gonna be like 4 more trades tonight. Okay. All right. Well, the pick was ruined for me already. I keep scrolling through Twitter just to see if there's been any trade announcements or any more clarification. And even the thing with Jovic, it's assuming Miami keeps him. Oh man, let's see. Oh, the pick is in. We'll see where it goes. It was wrong for me, but it was Patrick Baldwin Jr., which, again, adding something to their front court. Well, not their front court, but just adding another wing, man. We know they got Wiggins. You got folks like Moody and Kuminga who didn't play much yet. Adding somebody, adding 6'10", 230 pounds, plus 7-foot wingspan doesn't hurt at all. And we know in Golden State, the more size you have, you're often asked to play a bit in the front court as well. All right, so again, this is pick 28, the reigning champion, Golden State Warriors. Sorry. They also have 2 picks in the second round. We'll see if they end up keeping those picks, trading those picks, etc. But again, Patrick Baldwin Jr., 6'10", 230 pounds, 7'2" wingspan. He's 19. Again, adding to that core, their new core rather, that group of youngsters. Sheesh, man. This modern skill set stuff on the graphics tonight is killing me on the broadcast. Like the alternative being what? I mean, I think you would put it up if it's an old school thing. That would be something to me worth putting it up. It being modern, maybe not that much, but yeah. Jay Bill's going through some of his strengths. Yeah, it sounds like a Warriors player. It's exactly what it sounds like. Coming up next, we got Memphis. They've drafted well the past couple of years while they've been putting their core together. And we've seen where it's gotten them. And this is part of a trade to Houston. So see where this goes, but not mad at that at all. I like both picks from Miami and Golden State there at 20 and 29. Oh wow. Okay, somebody said he went to the same high school as same high school as Loon, Kevon Looney. But man. Yeah. So again, got the Grizz on the clock at the moment. The pick is in. It's part of a proposed trade to Houston. We'll see who the pick is. I'm sure someone's going to say. All right, so the pick is in. We're still waiting on the pick. Man, you guys are gonna be sick of me, but again, still dwelling on the Troy Weaver, Detroit move. And Patrick Baldwin, man, I think the Warriors got another one. Looks like it's gonna be Ty Washington for the Rockets at 29, which is big because a lot of people did not have him dropping this far. He'll be going to Houston. Adding to that young group, it's going to be a war for playing time with those guards. May the strongest survive. It's going to be fun to watch who comes out on top out of that group. But again, it looks like it's Ty Washington to the Rockets via the Grizzlies, as you guys see on the broadcast. We see both. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Tots out of Houston. All right, so that's what would that be? Ty, Jalen. You got Porter Jr. over there. You got a ton of guards over there. A ton. They still have if you count John Wall, that's a ton of guards. But right now, what is it? Dennis Schroeder's technically still over there. You got Kevin Porter Jr., Dayshawn Nix, G League guy Garrison Matthews over there. Jalen Green, Eric Gordon if he doesn't get moved, Josh Christopher, and then they just added Tata. They literally have a ton of picks. All right, we'll end the first round and our broadcast with the 30th pick. All right, so again, Houston, by way of Memphis, will be taking Tata Washington. And then, from there, see what they end up doing. Again, so the Rockets tonight, as far as a whole, they've done pretty well for themselves. All right, so again, up next, I believe we're ending with the Denver Nuggets, unless that pick got traded as well. Again, I like that pick to Houston, compiling all of the talent. So they've gotten Jabari Smith Jr., they got Tari Eason. They just added Tata Washington. We know all the guards they already have. They took Jalen Green at the top of the draft last year. Look, man, this might be something where he's the guy of all those guards that has a feel in terms of being a distributor for the rest of those guys, especially with as many guards you have. Somebody has to be the facilitator for everybody else. But again, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, man, it's about to be a long night playing those guys. Not to say that you're not going to beat the Rockets, but man, nothing but young legs and adrenaline. All right, so okay, this is what is it? I'm sorry. This pick, OKC is selecting it, but it's going to Denver. So Denver's selecting by way of OKC, and the pick is in as we come to the end of the first round. Oh man. All right. Final pick in the first round. OKC's been super busy tonight. Super busy tonight. Both in trades with future picks. But again, this goes to the Nuggets because of JaMychal Green. But again, it's the end of the first round. It's the end of the first round. End of our personal broadcast tonight. Thanks to anyone who tuned in live or if you watch later. We appreciate it. And again, as far as mornings with the focus go, we'll be back Monday morning on time to talk about all of this. A little bit busy this weekend, so. All right, so the Nuggets are going to end this first round by selecting. Waiting to see. Oh, man. All right, let's see. It's going to be fun to go back and talk about. With everything going on, it probably will take through Monday to figure out all these trades, honestly. Peyton Watson from UCLA heads to the Denver Nuggets. So, we're talking about them adding depth. Man, they're going to do just that. Again, they had Jamal Murray out last year, so we were able to see standing minutes from Bones Nyland. We saw him in his rookie year, expect him to take a nice step in year two. With Michael Porter Jr. out, they didn't have too much depth behind him, so it can't hurt. Athletic guy that can defend, needed in Denver, especially on the wing. We talked about it earlier. Wings had great nights against them, so we'll see. I want to thank you guys for tonight. We'll be back a little bit later with Mystics Outlook, but this concludes the NBA draft portion of our evening.